Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Aditi on Innerworldrevealed, and a lot of you have been asking me about how can you find the turning points in your life and what can the turning points indicate. So this log of mine is about the turning points in your life, what can they mean and how can you find them. In numerology, we have smaller periods of time which are known as the personal 9-year cycles, and we have talked about that before also in one of my previous logs. Now, after that, we have life path periods. From the life path periods, we can calculate the pinnacle transitions or the pinnacle cycles. Now, what are exactly the turning points? The turning points are the transition phases between the two 9-year cycles or the pinnacle cycles. And what happens during these transitions? You undergo major internal and external changes in yourselves and also your circumstances. So, the pinnacle changes can mean the major transitions in your life. However, the changes in the personal 9-year cycle can also mean a substantial amount of change. Now, for all of you all who have missed the calculation of the personal year number, this is once again for you. For the personal year calculation, let us consider a date of birth. Say for example, we have a date of birth which is 26th of November 1990, and we want to know what will be the personal year number for the year 2014. So from 26/11/1990, we take the day number which is 26 and the month number which is 11, and we add it in the same way as you can see on the screen, and what we derive is 2014 is the personal year number 8 in this particular case. So the year number 1 means the beginning and the year number 9 means the completion, finality or the end. And as we have calculated that this is the personal year number 8 for this particular case, so it can mean that the change is very close and the effects can already be felt. Now from the same date of birth, I'm going to quickly explain how you can derive the pinnacle numbers. So we have 26/11/1990, and that gives us the day number reduced to 8, the month number reduced to 2 and the year number reduced to 1. So we have 8, 2 and 1. Okay. Now, the first pinnacle number is the day number plus the month number, which gives us 8 plus 2, 1. The second pinnacle number is the day number plus the year number, which gives us a 9. The third pinnacle number is the pinnacle number 1 plus pinnacle number 2. So we have 1 plus 9, which gives us a 1 again. The fourth pinnacle number is the month number plus the year number. So we have 2 plus 1, that gives us a 3. So finally we derive first pinnacle 1, second pinnacle 9, third 1 and the fourth 3. So these four numbers that we have calculated do not indicate or tell us about the exact transition point. These actually tell us about the trend of the bigger periods or the pinnacles. So how can we find the exact points of transitions? So in this particular case, as you can see that we have derived a life path number which is an 11 or a 2. So for that, the first pinnacle change will happen at or around the age of 34 years. The transition time for a change might be around 2 years. The second and the third pinnacles will have 9 years each. So the second change will happen at around the age of 43 years and the third change will happen at the age of 52 years. The fourth pinnacle then on will continue entire life, and I wish we all live long. So the birth year out here is 1990. So when the age of the person will be 34, it will be the year 2024. So we can mark our first turning point out here. The next change will be 9 years to that. So that will be 2033, and the final change again 9 years to that. So that will be 2042. So 2024, 33 and 42 are the major turning points out here where internal, external and also changes in the circumstances around this person will be very, very strongly felt. However, the year 2014 is also a change or nearing a completion of a 9-year cycle. Now, unless we see a real life example of what a pinnacle change, a cycle change or a transition can really signify or really mean, it's going to be really vague talking about all this. So we are going to evaluate Mother Teresa. From her date of birth, we find her birthday number to be an 8, her life path number is a 9. Calculating the pinnacles in the same way as we have calculated before, we find the first pinnacle to be 7, second to be 1, third to be 8 and fourth to be 1 again. Now, for life path number 9, the first pinnacle change is at the age of 27 years. So that'll be 1937 for her. 9 years from that, we find the second change at the age of 36 years, which is 1946. Again, 9 years from that, we find the third change at the age of 45 years, which is 1955. If you read her biography, you would know that she left her family at the age of 18, which was also the personal year 9 for her. 9 is the year of finality, completion, and clearing all the inventory from the past. What you leave behind now will be left far away. And it's a well-known fact that once she left her family, she never went back to them again. The 9 life path also indicates similar things, something to do with your biological parents. Either you feel extremely connected or responsible towards them, or you're abandoned by one or both of them. However, in her case, it's her who abandoned them. Her first pinnacle change was around the year 1937. So what really changed for her in 1937? Well, when she left home, she then joined Sisters of Loreto. She came to Calcutta, India and started teaching in Loreto Convent. In 1937, Sister Teresa made her final profession of vows, becoming the spouse of Jesus for eternity. And from then on, Sister Teresa became Mother Teresa. So her first pinnacle was being ruled by the number 7, and 7 means soul searching, self-exploration and enormous spiritual growth. The power of the universe will guide you through all along. So her next transition is in 1946. That's her second transition, and let us find out what really happened in 1946. In the year 1943, the Bengal province of the pre-partition British India was struck by one of the most deadliest famines in the history. This was a time during the World War II. The food situation in India had already been very tight since the beginning of the war, and in this particular time, it worsened. Millions and millions of people died out of starvation and disease. In between all this, we had our epitome of kindness and compassion. A stranger befriending a strange land and feeling agitated for the people out here. She was no messiah. She was just a teacher teaching the children in her school. And then came a day when her children out here were hungry. She said, "Okay, I'm going out. You stay here and I'll get food for all of you." The deadly famine was followed by a massive communal violence in Calcutta. And there was a day of great killing. Thousands and thousands of people left dead on the streets, and 10 times more than that were the ones who were wounded. Again, all activities halted, no food, no water, no supplies. The city full of orphans and homeless. And it was around this time that she decided to begin the missionaries of charity. She went for a calling within her calling of a promise to serve Jesus for eternity. She went ahead to serve his children. As the missionaries of charity went on gaining more and more popularity and the number of homeless and orphans went on increasing, Mother felt, why not a home for them? So in 1955, she began the Nirmala Shishu Bhavan, which was a home for all. By 1960, the order had started orphanages all over India, and then on, Mother expanded the order throughout the globe. So you can see, she was the leader who won the globe with her kindness, grace, determination, and her remarkable compassion. So now we have learned how to calculate the important turning points in your life, and we have also seen what the turning points can signify with the example of Mother Teresa and a brief history of her life. So I think that brings us towards the end of the discussion today. Want to know anything about the topic? Please feel free to ask and mail me here in this. That's my email ID. And there are certain changes presently in the YouTube comment section, and they are redirecting me towards Google Plus, and I'm a little unfamiliar with Google Plus, and I'm trying to get acquainted and a little familiar with that. I don't use it that much. However, you can join my Facebook page, which is by the name of Innerworldrevealed, and I have already provided the link. You can comment there, you can connect with me there. So that's how we can go about it. Now, one thing that I would like to mention in the end is many of you are requesting me to do a complete numerology evaluations for all of you. Now, for that, there's a particular procedure that you have to follow. You have to mail me out there. That's my email ID once again, and get to know about how you can go about it. If you liked watching the log, please click like and like the log and encourage me. You can also subscribe to my channel. That will give you updates on my latest upcoming logs. Now, I try to upload a new log each like every 7 to 10 days, but sometimes like this time I got a little late. Now, the next topic which I'm going to cover is one of the frequently asked questions. Many of you have asked me, like, how can you fix a wedding date or the date where you get married? How can you get to finalize that date? So I will deal with that particular topic in my next log. Now, for all of the people who have already subscribed to me and have liked my log, thanks a lot to you all. You have really encouraged me to make more and more. And for all of you, stay tuned to Innerworld Revealed, and there'll be a lot of interesting topics coming up. And thanks a lot for watching and encouraging us.